So I just wanted your thoughts on today's loss.
It's another away defeat, isn't it? I think we said last week, 5 months since we've run away from home. Disappointing. I don't think there's anything in the game, and we give a penalty away again. I think we must have given more penalties away than any team in our league this season. So it's obviously an habit. And then the second half, I felt that we often puffed a little bit better. But to be fair to them, they score a fantastic goal, 2-0, and I think if we were playing till tomorrow, we wouldn't score. We didn't look a threat up front, which was exactly the same last week. This is very, very disappointing. We spoke last week as a group. We had a meeting. We felt that we'd addressed a few things, and obviously not. And it's disappointing because the season now is doing what we didn't want to do, and it's petering out. And that's probably more disappointing because the group of players have got better than that. So I'll take full responsibility as a manager because my name's above the door, and that's happening in front of us, and it's just really disappointing.
Is there a frustration over the past few that maybe a lack of desire, do you think, amongst some of the players?
Yeah, I think you have to be careful because as a footballer, one of the worst things that can ever be labelled at you individually and collectively is that you have a lack of desire. I think it's evident. Last week, Barwell really seemed to have so much more desire than us. And then today, Kings Langley, they're fighting for their lives, aren't they? They're fighting for their lives, so there's naturally going to be a bit of desire, but then we are X amount of points above them. And why should we have that desire to go on and finish our at the table? So yeah, absolutely. I questioned maybe a number of the boys in the dressing room at the minute on they're way below the levels. They're performing way below the levels that they've set earlier in the season, and that's evident. I spoke to you off air, and a few supporters have said that to me individually about certain players, and it's right. They're way off it. But it's our responsibility as a staff to try and get that, get them over the finishing line and get that little extra 10, 15, 20% that we, for whatever reason, they're not doing it, and it's disappointing. Like I say, to be questioned as a player, the staff we're questioning some of the players at the minute in terms of their desire, and it's just petering out, and it seems like some of them are going through the motions which won't be accepted.
And then to pick up on just a couple of positives. We had good support again today, and Adam Harrison in goal pulled off 3 exceptional saves really in the first half. Right. What are your thoughts?
No, look, first of all, again, I say it week in, week out that we've got a lively bunch of supporters, especially away from home, and they're fantastic. The support they give the boys is great, and they were there again today in their numbers, which was brilliant. Very fortunate to have that. And Adam Harrison in goal, since we brought him in, he's been a breath of fresh air. 2 or 3 very good saves in the first half. That shows you, look, the last 2 games he's been man of the match. So you've gone from beating Leicester, who are flying, who were flying and should have scored 6 or 7 or even 8 against them, to then play without being disrespectful to Barwell and Kings Langley, 2 teams that were below us in the table, 1 team that's fighting for their life, and they've just been better than us. Not in terms of from a footballing point of view, especially today. I don't think Kings Langley were. I think that they just showed more desire to get a result, and so that's disappointing.
And then we had a couple of injuries today. Just a quick injury update from the second.
Yeah, well, the captain went off early on. He felt a twinge in his hamstring, so he's going to be out for a while. And Danny King, you were the tackle. From there, I just seen him getting stretched off. So Danny, that which is disappointing because we've got a very, very, very small squad. So to lose 2 on the back of Reece Flanagan out last week and Martin Riley out, we're literally down to bare bones, and then we've got that long journey on Tuesday to Needham. So we'll have a little head count, see who's available. But yeah, look, that's what happens. That's what we have to deal with. That we'll be working hard as we always do to try and identify to bring a couple of players in. just to give the boys a bit of a lift, because we need a little bit of a lift now. There's 9 games left in the league, and obviously still in 2 good competitions. So we want to finish positive. I think it's important for us as a group, important for the players, important for the supporters that we find that little bit extra and just have a go now, because today was not acceptable.
Last question for you. You've got Needham on the Tuesday, as you just mentioned, and then Rushden and Diamonds on Saturday. 2 teams again fighting for their lives at the moment. What are your thoughts heading into those?
No, look, again, we've always said it's a big disadvantage going across the Needham or Leiston on a midweek, as it was. We played them both at midweek on Monday nights, and we beat both teams. So, especially on the back of 2 bad results from us, they're going to probably be licking their lips. I know they're in they're, from a form point of view, they've not been great themselves. And then we get Rushden, with great respect to Rushden, I think Rushden will get relegated. I think them and Linsford are probably too far behind the pack now. But they're not going to roll over, they're not just going to come to Redditch Saturday and roll over. So let's get Tuesday out of the way first. Let's go to Needham, get a positive result, because we do want us away from home. And then Rushden again will take care of itself, and hopefully we can pick up 3 points at home, where we have been good at home, but just been disappointed of late. And what we do need to do, and we spoke about, is put into bed this 5 months hoodoo away from home. We were top of the form guide away from home up until October, and now we're bottom of the form guide away from home. So we need to get that, amend that very quickly.